Sudden, it's a contract, isn't it? Mm-hmm. And you virtually want to, at gunpoint, force them to agree with you that the repayment or the yield of their investment should be as you dictated. As you dictated. Why? And at the same time, why are we in the mess we are in? Nobody has fully explained to us. Yes, debt. Okay, fine. We took debt. What was it used for? Where's the accountability? Exactly what was it used for? You're not telling us about how you're going to be able to make things better. But just like, help me and I'll help you. No, you help yourself first. Let me see you doing something serious. Because we've seen these sort of things too many times. I'm over 70 now, and I'm no longer a government employee. My mouth has been ungagged, and I'm talking and I'm saying what I feel. And it's important that the elderly in this nation should be respected. One, I find this wicked, I find it disrespectful, I find it unlawful, I find it totally wrong, period. Because you don't solve your problems by sacrificing your aged. That's the last thing you should do, especially when you don't have any services that are specially geared at the comfort and the relief of the aged. The national insurance system has virtually collapsed. The elderly are buying their medications at normal commercial prices. And I know a lot of people who have told me that they have timed the way they did their investments so that at least every month there's something for them to be able to cover their medical bills with. Now people are asking pharmacists, oh, can I, is it safe for me, instead of 2, can I take 1 a day? Or if instead of 1, can I take half a day? How long can I continue like that before having a bad effect on me? Should it come to that contract, and it has to be respected. And if you want to renegotiate it, come to the table, one, with humility, and come with a yesable proposition, not take it or leave it. Yes, it's all of us, it's our duty to show up our economy. But we voted government into power to take care of our economy. So we should see where the due diligence.
You heard the former Chief Justice Sofa Ekufu there speaking from the Finance Ministry, where my colleague Sani Abdulrahman of the 3 Business Desk is joining us for some live updates, because we know the pensioner bondholders have been picketing for a 5th straight day. Sani, I imagine you've been engaging some of the pensioner bondholders. I mean, it's the 5th day. What have they been telling you?
Well, Komladum, I'm coming live from the Finance Ministry, as you have indicated, where the pensioners who have been agitating, demanding their exclusion from the domestic debt exchange program have dispersed. But from our communication with officials inside the ministry, you realize that there is a crunch meeting ongoing between the agitating pensioners and officials from the Finance Ministry, trying to iron out and find a last-minute solution to either include or exclude these senior citizens who have come here agitating and demanding their exclusion from the domestic debt exchange program. Away from that, we know that government has not reached the required 80% target participation in the domestic debt exchange program, which is really a major problem for the government, because this level of participation is required for the government to put forward the program before the board of the International Monetary Fund for ultimate consideration for the $3 billion bailout package government is seeking. But also on the domestic front, we've seen the agitation We've seen individual bondholders yesterday in a final plea to its members not to accept the amended debt action offer, reassuring them of the safety of their bonds, contrary to the indication we've picked from government that they may have issues with tradability because there will not be enough of their bonds in circulation, and that may affect the profitability of their bonds. The individual bondholders have assured their members this will not happen because they have strong legal backing with the old bonds, and any attempt to alter the contracts on the bonds may lead to some litigation, and they will not relent on doing so. So it's really a headache for government, because if you look at the categories that are more or less sure bet for government, I'm referring to the Bank of Ghana, which holds like 9% of the bonds, commercial banks holding about 33%. We have insurance companies less than 1%. We have rural banks holding 1.6%, and the rest of the categories. If all of these groups, excluding firms and institutions, decide to sign on to the debt action program, they will still be giving government less than 50%. If firms and institutions who are holding 22% of the bonds also come on board, that will be giving government nearly 70% participation, and that means there will still be some 10% shortfall for government to bridge. But as we stand now, looking at what the Deputy Finance Minister, Abina Osayasari, said less than 24 hours ago, government is around a little over 50%, which is an indication that not all firms and institutions have subscribed to the debt action program. We are also learning that 2 banks are agitating and indicating they will not be part of the program, which will be a major blow for government. So, Kamala, if we are to tell our audience if government has reached the required participation, it's in the negative.
Thank you very much, Sani Abdulrahman, over 3 Business Desk there, joining us with those live updates from the Ministry of Finance. Earlier, we put together some of the sights and sounds from the Finance Ministry, where the pensioner bondholders have been picketing for 5 days.
Our strength, thy grace, our rule is thy word, our end, the glory of the Lord.
They will have to exempt us. And I look at my uncle here is 81, and other people. I mean, look, we have to buy medicine. We've seen some people's letters for school fees. Are we to, maybe they'll give us some letters to go to the pharmacy to buy our drugs. We don't have money. Why must we be begging now for what is ours? You know, it's just so difficult to comprehend. I think this is just our own money that we are asking. That please give our money to us, give it to us, the terms and conditions that we agreed on.
Total exemption.
Total
exemption.
And that's the simple message.
That's the simple message. Total exemption.
Yes, we are asking for total exemption from the domestic exchange program. We have worked too hard to be going through this stress.
Dr. Samuel Amakwe.
Dr. Samuel Amakwe. And how old are you?
I'm 81 years old.
You're 81 years old. Medical doctor?
Medical. I was a medical practitioner, private medical practitioner, and retired in 2017.
You retired in 2017, and you decided to invest?
Yes, because I know I had a kidney problem, and it's already at the end, and it will come if it can come tomorrow, any time. You are invested for it. That's why I bought bond. And now it's about to, it's maturing in September 2023. And I need this money to look after myself.
They've been able to control things for pension funds. All we are asking is we should be put on the same level as the pension funds, because we are worse than the people who are going to collect those pension funds tomorrow. We have collected ours and it's in danger of vanishing under this scheme.
Help us to resist oppressors.
And so now we know that the individuals are still at the finance ministry. Some of them are still picketing. We also know that the 80% threshold has not been reached. So Sunny is joining us back again from the finance ministry. Sunny, what happens from here?
Well, Kamala, I've just been joined by the chairperson of the Convention People's Party, who has come to offer support to the senior citizens who have been here for the past 5 days, agitating and demanding their exclusion from what has become a painful domestic debt exchange exercise that government intends to execute in order to bring the economy out of the storm. So let me engage here shortly. Thank you so much for your time, madam. You are live on TV3. Exactly why are you here?
I've been out of the country for a while, and I just came back at dawn, and I'm here because I can't afford to be at home. I can't afford to be at home. One of the reasons why I came was to find a way of getting an audience with the minister. But I understand they are currently at a meeting. The main thing that for me is a major problem is not the fact that we are in crisis, that we know we are in crisis, but is the solution that is being offered. I know that when you have a crisis, as a business person in your home, anywhere, you must be able to solve your problem based on the situation that you are in. They might be more privy to our situation that we have. However, in the current technology, I find it very challenging. And quite especially with our vice president, who is on top of digitization, to find it where you find pensioners going to the banks, trying to get their money, people are getting naked and kind of things, and I'm wondering, something is very wrong, and that's why I'm here to give my solution here. What I expect government to do is to look at the situation in the package here, not as a business solution, but as a human touch solution. We are a government, and as a government, when you need solution, you don't just look at numbers, you look at human beings involved, and that means that you can use AI, you use technology to understand the needs of the individuals, so that you exclude people that need to buy medication, people that have to pay their rents, pensioners that are desperate. Otherwise, the country would come to a halt, because the pensioner that is desperate is not going to sit at home and die. Okay. You understand? So in restructuring those debts, what he should do is that they should sit down and plan. They shouldn't do the blanket thing they did with our banking system, where they collapse everything. They just come on. This is not numbers game.
Am I getting the impression that you agree the restructuring should be executed, but in a different form?
What I'm saying is that if the restructuring should or must be executed, it must be done in a way that is properly structured, with the information, with the human beings at the center, and the welfare of the people at the center of every decision. The IMF and all the international bodies, they do not prosecute or put their pensioners at the risk of any problem. I was in the US when the economy melted. At the economic meltdown, the people's mortgages were not thrown out. They even gave provision. They paid people. They gave everybody money. So what I'm saying is that this government has no clue, and clearly, because it has no clue, that is why it is handling this whole package as though it is a paper thing. It is not paper. It is not pencil and paper. It is intelligence. It is dealing with human beings.